Yes, my people, welcome back to AFTV, welcome back to the channel. It is another AFTV live. When I say another, it feels weird just sitting here, Turkish, a lie?
A lie, it's mad.
Obviously, we landed this morning. Bit of delays, which you'll see in the vlog when the next day comes out. Obviously, the vlog that was for the match day when we beat Chelsea has just come out on the channel as well. So after you've finished being involved in this live, please go head over and watch the vlog. But yeah, we landed this morning. And we're here doing the live, so because Robbie and James, they're just, they're not built like
lightweights,
us. Yeah.
Lightweights. Let's hear it.
So yeah, but guys, listen, we've got a lot to talk about. Obviously, we know about Edu doing a lot of media this week and speaking to many channels, and I'm going to focus mainly on the Sky when he spoke to Sky Sports and go through some of his quotes. We're going to get your guys' opinions on it, your thoughts on it as well, and we're going to run through a lot of stuff. Obviously, we've got to talk about Orlando, Florida. We can't not. We're back. There's so much I do want to discuss, but yeah, let's start. Turkish, bro, we're back, man. How was it for you? I know you said that you did give a message to Robbie, how grateful you were, but how was it for you in total?
It's mad. I'm glad we started off with the tour, because you have to say big up everyone out there. Yeah. I'm sure a lot of them are actually watching right now. True. So big up, what's the time out there, 12, midday?
I should have it on my phone.
Yeah, it's midday. Yeah, it's midday. So big up everyone out there, everyone that we met. Not only the people in Orlando, the people from Orlando, but there was people from New York, LA, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, so many different places, Kenya, Nigeria, Jamaica, Grenada, Australia, Peru. So many different fans that we met, and it was all love. It was all love. It was I'm humble anyway, but it was a humbling experience. I've never stepped foot in America. And the first time I go there, to see so much love, to see so much support,
it's surreal, bro.
Must have taken over 500 pictures on that day, the Chelsea game. So it is what it is, big up everyone out there that we met, big up everyone that we didn't meet. It was mad, it was special. Back soon. Back soon, definitely. Yeah. Definitely after that, man. Yeah, man, it was incredible. Even so, remember that guy that drove 13 hours as well and come out with us? That was mad. Big up him as well. Big him up. Yeah. No, it was incredible, man. It will stay with me for my life. There's no way I'm gonna forget that trip. There's so much, not even just from the love shown, but just the watching the club play, and was so superb, and the experience we got, the access we got, the hard work that went into it before. Yeah, man, it was surreal. It was surreal. But yeah, let's go into what we saw from Arsenal. Obviously, they played Orlando City and they played Chelsea. We obviously didn't get to go to Baltimore. Big shame, really big shame, because I would have loved to have gone. Both of us, we did speak about it, but hopefully next time we'll be able to cover the full tour. But let's talk from what you saw. What do you take away from pre-season, Turkish, from the games, not just the tour, but the games? What do you take from this Arsenal side? Preparation for the new season. You can't take too much from the results, or let's say, the performance per se, because Chelsea performance. Listen, by far, it was the best performance so far this pre-season. The other ones, I think it was a chance for the fringe players to give them opportunities to prove themselves. When you look at the night and day performances, first half, second half, Nuremberg, Everton and Orlando, I think that was their chance to stake a claim for a position in the new season as a backup, whatever. But when we moved into the Chelsea game, less changes throughout the match and a much better performance all round. Look at the result. And it's all about chemistry and team building. It was great to see Zinchenko start straight away. So, we know he'll be ready for that Palace game. Touchwood, obviously, let's not hope for the worst, but he'll be ready for that Palace game. Surprised that Arsenal did include him in that game, because remember, we knew, like you're at Mona, but you were saying, listen, we know he's here, we've seen him, announce him already. But did you expect Arsenal to actually even just starting him? I was surprised. You see it in one of the vlogs when I saw it. I read his name out in the lineup. I was like, oh wow. Yeah, I think it's a different. It had to. He was already out there. He was fit. He was already doing his pre-season with Man City, so it was easy for him to come from where Man City. Where were Man City playing? I don't even know, but it was easy for him to come over. He was at the game against Orlando. I think Arsenal were actually last to announce it officially. I think Zinchenko said his buyer's already Pep. I think Man City did theirs, and then Arsenal released it. Yeah. So it was like, to me, he's been here pretty much a week as it is. So you give him a game, because with Kieran Tierney, we don't really know what's happening. He played 30 minutes against Nuremberg. Apparently he was taken off as a precaution, but then we haven't seen him again since. So I don't know whether that's too believable. So Zinchenko will be massive for us going into the season because we need a quality player we need quality players in all positions. But last season, the drop off in quality from Tierney to Tavares was evident towards the back end. So it's about starting the season, well. It's about starting the season strong, and we need quality to do that.
Yeah, 100%. I want to go into. I'm gonna apologise for production because I'm gonna want to play the press conference video first, because you spoke about Kieran Tierney there. So and he said, he came off for precaution. Nuremberg, I was there. He did a bit extra running, but we haven't seen him since. He hasn't been named in the squad since. And there's other players I want to discuss as well, like Fabio Vieira and Tomiyasu. And some of these players that throughout the pre-season tour we was dying and wanting to see, but they weren't named in the squad. I remember trying to speak to them. I know Curtis spoke to one of them back behind the scenes, asking when you're going to be fit. We need you, and they said soon. So let me just play the clip of the press conference where I asked Mikel Arteta about Tomiyasu and Fabio Vieira.
Mikel, is there any way we can get an update on Fabio Vieira or Takehiro Tomiyasu? Are they going to be back anytime soon?
Yeah, Tommy is really close to start doing some training session, hopefully next week, and Fabio probably a little bit longer. I think he needs another week or so before he starts with the team, but he's been working hard and he's been really unlikely to start his Arsenal career in this way, but again, he's fitting well.
Thank you, Mikel.
Thank you.
Just to check, Mikel, is Gabriel...
Cool. So listen.
That you, yeah?
That
you, yeah? Cool.
Don't, I'll get gassed.
Cool. First they're doing that, you man are talking to Mikel. Cool. Let them know I want to have a word one day.
Yeah, no,
Let them know I want to have a word one day.
As you know, there's things happening.
Next press conference, say to Mikel, Turkish wants a word, mate.
See how he answers that. He might give me fear to fear to that question. And I must say, let me just highlight quickly as well, people. I saw some of the comments people were saying, he sounds so nervous, his voice has changed. I'm going to be honest, my voice was we've just been so full on in Orlando, Florida. My voice was, even now, you can hear it, late nights, just celebrating as well. I just came from the side of the pitch screaming like a fangirl from the performance. So my voice was mad there. But you heard him say there about Tomiyasu a week, Fabio Vieira a week and a bit, maybe 2 weeks. They're kind of saying. Now this kind of came out of the blue. Obviously, we saw him with the boot, Fabio Vieira. Then he went on his own personal page and said, like, look, I'm fine. It's only precautionary, blah blah. And now we're seeing, obviously, he hasn't been named in any of the squads in pre-season tour. Hasn't played either. Mikel Arteta is saying it's an unfortunate way to start his career at Arsenal. It's a bit more serious, which I don't want to say, they didn't lie to, does it feel like a lie? They didn't come out and tell us from the beginning? Maybe, but it is a worry, because I want to see, we still wait and see Fabio Vieira. Will he be ready in time for Crystal Palace? Potentially, but are we going to want to throw in a player straight away, a new sign like that? He's going to have to get minutes at some point, but we're going to throw him in the first game of the season? Probably not.
See, with Vieira, I don't even... Obviously, he's an attacking midfielder, but I don't know what the plan is for him anyway. Is he a starting 11 player, or is he there for depth?
Yep.
So I'm not too worried about him. It's not nice to see him coming in and he's already, he has an injury.
Yeah.
Because you want to see him in pre-season, you want to see what he's about a bit. But it's more Tomiyasu for me, I think. That right back position. I know Ben White's filled in their last couple of games, and it looks like that'll probably be the back line, and we'll get into that at the start of the season. But Tomiyasu for me is the bigger worry, because we was all excited by him first half of last season, and then the second half, we all saw how it went down, and there's more questions than answers with him. Even though Mikel said, what was it, next week for Tommy?
Yeah, next week
for Tommy. We've heard that before with Tommy as well.
Yeah.
So, I hope for the best of him, because I think we are going to need him. I get it. With Ben White at right back, he slots into a back three. I get that. But when he comes up against, good wingers on that side, I have a worry. Whereas with Tomiyasu, I think he's more mobile. He's more...
Are you frustrated
capable
with Tomiyasu and his injury record, or is it just listen, we understand he's still early in his Arsenal career. Let's be real. But are you frustrated, or do you say, what, he's good enough to, once he's back?
I think giving 2 seasons is more than enough. Then make an assessment. With Tierney, I've done the same. The first he's had a few injury problems. Last couple seasons, it's kind of cost us. His injuries have cost us at the back end of both seasons, whether it's Europa League semi-final, whether it's trying to go for top 4 in the last 2-3 games of the season. So that's when it becomes a real problem.
Yeah. Do we have adequate cover? Enough adequate cover? You said about Ben White playing there. Are you happy with that? Or would you, like Cedric, I feel, is it harsh on Cedric, or is Ben White the better option? Now, I'm gonna let you're gonna answer that, and I want you to obviously take to the comments as well.
Well, the Zinchenko signing kind of indicates that the attacking fullback will be on the left-hand side, whether it's Tierney or whether it's Zinchenko. You know, the back three will be slotting in from the right back position, let's say. So it'll be Ben White, even Tomiyasu, if he plays there, I assume he'll be the one slotting into the back three. So yeah, listen, I'm glad we added Zinchenko because, like I said, with Tierney, it's become a problem now. And hopefully we eliminate that problem this season and touch wood, no injuries for Tierney, and then we've got some depth there we can play around with the position. A lot of people think Zinchenko would do well in midfield. I haven't seen much of him in midfield. I know he plays there for Ukraine, or so people say. I haven't seen much of that. But we do need improvement in midfield too. So maybe he will help in that department. I still think we need to go get a midfielder to really eliminate that concern as well. Because as much as there was problems in the left back position the last 2 years, there's been problems in the central midfield position the last 2 years. So we've seemed to have sorted one. But let's not leave any holes. This is the problem we've had over the years. You know, we kind of sort out a couple holes, but then we leave a few leaking, and over the course of the season, you're going to sink if there's holes. And in January, if you're not going to make a move, then problems.
I think priority does for Zinchenko stays in that left back position. I mean, I saw Kieran Tierney, and I was next to him for a lot of the game. Back in Orlando, Florida, and he just seemed very annoyed, very frustrated. He wasn't really giving too much eye contact. He was very angry as he was going back into the changing rooms. I think he's just frustrated he wasn't playing. So I think it's right that Zinchenko plays left back. Obviously, the other option would be Tavares. We did see a bit of him as well, and he looked semi-decent. I'm going to be honest, attackingly and offensively, he's always been quite good, but we do always worry about the defensive side. So I think Zinchenko, it's imperative that he kind of masters that left back position and holds it there until we maybe get strength in that midfield. I don't think he's going to be used as much in that midfield. I really do believe that left back is going to be his main position.
Don't tell James that.
I know he's not going to be happy with me, James. James will be happy with me hearing that, and he's going to probably come with the stats and numbers tomorrow in the office. But listen, I like Zinchenko there. We saw that skill that everyone kept bringing up on Twitter and online, and him cutting back, and he took some shots as well. I remember at the start of the game against Chelsea, he took like 3 shots in the first 10 minutes. And I was like, this is brilliant. Like, he's confident to shoot. He's making the keeper work, and that's from left back. Great signing, Zinchenko. And honestly, first 45 minutes of him in the Arsenal shot, I very thoroughly enjoyed. Take the super chats. I know Turkish will be doing the comments. Any comments as well? Do bring them up before we go into the next.
So we've got one
section
here that we're going to touch on later. Aman says, "Would you have Saliba starting against Palace?"
We'll do it after these comments.
We'll definitely get into that one. Zim Gunner says, "Hi Turkish and Cecil, big up to you all. I can't find the AFTV vlog for the Chelsea versus Arsenal game in Orlando. Did you guys delete it? It was a pleasure meeting you all in Orlando." No, I've just checked and it's still there.
It's back. Oh yeah, it's there. It's there.
It's there, people. It's there. It came out 15 minutes ago. So after this video, go straight over there and you'll see it.
Go watch that. And hit a like.
Paul's asking, most overrated and underrated player at Arsenal now.
Oh.
That's an interesting question. I know. I didn't expect that one. Overrated, Xhaka for me.
Underrated.
Underrated.
I'm gonna go with Cedric for underrated. Don't get me wrong, he's not a player that's gonna be the #1 star for me in that position. But in Orlando, Florida, his deliveries, he got a lot of assists. His deliveries, even his free kick taking, he was there. His corners, his crosses, and I don't think he has enough respect. And actually, I'd throw in Eddie Nketiah, and that's just my hand up there on my own behalf. I underrated him. I really did, and I know the fans in Florida loved him. They were singing his name for majority of the game, which you will be able to hear and see. But Eddie Nketiah, for me, he ended last season very well. But I did think, how is he going to do in the Premier League? Obviously, it hasn't started yet, but how is he going to come back for pre-season? Going to be sharper, or are we going to see the same old Eddie, maybe missing a chance or two, or is he going to come back how we've seen him in this pre-season, sharp? And he really has been. And I think he complements Gabriel Jesus. I think both of them. I know sometimes Arteta goes with one or the other, but when they're together, they're relentless. The press is relentless. The quick feet is really good. The sharpness in the turns and the straightaway shooting, first time shooting as well. I put my hand up. I underrated him. And I'm actually, I can't believe I'm saying this, I'm excited for the season to start, to see how well those two bode throughout the season. So that, overrated,
it's hard for me to pick the underrated one because
for me, Xhaka.
Yeah, it's hard. Someone said El Nene there. That's a good shout as well. But I think I'm looking more at the first team and trying to pick one out of there. But it's hard because, we rate the fan base in general tend to rate a lot of the players, and that's been part of the problem over the years, because there's players there right now that we're struggling to get rid of, that we were overrating just 12 months ago, just 18 months ago, and so on. Saying tie him down to a new. Nah, he needs to be here. Like Maitland-Niles, for example. That's one of them. So yeah, for me, it's easy to pick the overrated one, even though someone in the chat has said me picking Xhaka as overrated shows how underrated he is. So, again, it's going to divide opinion.
You can look at it both ways, actually. That's a good point, because there'll be parts of the fan base that really rate him, and like even some people will say he's overrated. So yeah, I get why that splits opinion, because I see it. I saw it in America. There was a lot of big Xhaka fans, Eddie fans as well. I think
Smith Rowe's a shout. I see someone Ace there says Smith Rowe. That's a shout.
That is a good shout.
That's a shout. But I don't underrate Smith Rowe, personally. But I know generally people tend to not bring up his name in conversations when you're talking about the starting front three, front four. And I guess that's fair in a sense. But listen, I'm a big Martinelli fan as well. But he does need to kick on this season, and similar to what Saka did last season, take it in your stride and give more numbers and so on, because Emil did give that from that position last season, albeit from the bench a lot. But Emil did also kick. Like Saka definitely kicked on last season, but Emil kicked on last season too.
He did. He scored a lot of goals.
He scored a lot of goals.
Remember Carragher saying the best in the ball. Emil Smith Rowe, he did say that, and dribbling. Let's go. Okay, let's do it then, Turkish. Let's do this. Out of the three, Martinelli, Saka, and Emil Smith Rowe, who's gonna have the better season?
Saka.
Swear.
Yeah, I think Saka.
He was unbelievable.
Yeah, I think Saka, man. I think even against Orlando.
But can he go high? Can he go higher? I know what you're. So out of those three, you think he's going to take it to another level?
Just continue the progress that he's been making. I'm not putting extra pressure on his shoulder, because he's still a young man.
100%.
But we've improved other areas on the pitch, which should concern the opposition team, which should give Saka some more freedom on the ball, which should take away some of the double, triple teams he faced last season, which should give him more opportunity to get into positions and so on. So I just feel like, he's in the best place to, really kick on again. Smith Rowe, it seems like he's depth, and that's good depth to have. Someone that can come off the bench and get a goal or provide something.
Yeah. But I think Martinelli's in for a shout,
I hope so.
I think he's in for a shout. I think if he adds goals to his game, I think, I really believe he will have a bigger season. I think Saka's going to do unbelievable anyway. Player of the season 2 seasons in a row. Clearly a problem against Chelsea. He was sensational. I remember I was so close, and just seeing the way he was just brucking up people.
Even against Orlando, Pepe, abysmal for the 60 or so minutes he was on. And then Saka comes on. The first thing he does, he beats the man, gets fouled, yellow card.
Yeah.
And I know it's a friendly, so it doesn't really mean nothing, a yellow, whatever. But it's the intent, it's the confidence. He done it against Chelsea too. He just wants to drive now, and he's got quality around him now that he can play off. Jesus has surprised me, because I know Jesus is a good player, trust me, I know he's a good player, but he's a difference maker as well.
Oh wow.
And he seems to be it's only pre-season, but he's taken the responsibility in his stride, and hopefully, Palace is the big one. None of this really matters. Sevilla next week doesn't really matter. It's how you start the season against Palace. Listen, if we can. The reason I say that is because if we can go and beat Palace 4-0, it's the first game of the season, it's the Friday night fixture, no one else is playing. If we go beat them 4-0, best believe other teams are looking at it and like, all right, Arsenal might actually be changing a bit. But the problem we've had over the last few seasons is we don't start seasons well. So we can have a great pre-season. If you don't start a season well, if you go lose the first game against Brentford, other teams are going to be looking at me like, they're the same old Arsenal. They're nothing to worry about. And mentality going into games is a big thing. If they're looking at Arsenal as, Brentford beat them, we can do the same thing. That's very different to, they've just started the season with a big away win against Palace. Like, we might need to be a bit more reserved against them.
I think that's what the big thing is for me, Turkish. And I know it's pre-season. Maybe I'm getting caught up in, I was there, I was pitch side, maybe all of that. But the mentality switch is what I saw from players as something I haven't seen. honestly, like I feel like everyone's in tune with what Mikel Arteta wants. The Chelsea could not handle the press, and you need to remember how it was so hot there, humid weather, and for the whole 90 minutes, the press was intense. The guys that super chat we're going to go into straight after this, Tuchel even mentioned it at we were a level above. And yes, everyone's going to keep saying it's pre-season, and it will only matter when the season starts. But if Arsenal do that to Palace in the first game of the season, it's going to send a message to the league, and it's also for the players' confidence. It's going to take them to another level. Beating Chelsea with the team they had out there, they had a strong side out there, is already doing enough for them. The players, as a player, you'd know it's already doing enough for them mentally. They've got a 100% record in pre-season. They're going to be flying, and if they can continue this, and I've seen the mindset switch. It seems like they're all clicking and gelling together. I'm excited to see what happens this season. Read that super chat for me as well, please, just quickly.
Yeah, Yes says, did you see Tuchel's interview after the game? He was blaming the temperature and heat. If that was Thai, we would all have pounced on him.
I didn't know that's what. Sorry, this is very small. I thought he was going to say what he was saying in that press conference. He did mention the heat, but he also mentioned how far the behind they seem compared to Arsenal, who seem well ahead. And I was in that press conference. I stayed after Mikel's and waited for Tuchel's, and he was very open and honest, and I actually urge people to go watch that. You can find it on YouTube. Go watch his press conference, because he is very much dissing his side, but he's also giving Arsenal a lot of compliments in how far we've come along and how impressive we look. So I do urge you guys to watch that.
Not prefer. I understand that managerial. Listen, when you've got an abundance of experienced players that have actually, won a major honour. It wasn't too long ago they won Champions League. Yeah. You can have that approach with them. You can be very honest and abrupt with your assessment of the performance, because you expect them to take it on the chin, listen, and be offended, yes, but turn that into a positive performance next, or a positive period next. Conte did similar in January, February with Tottenham. He came out and he just ripped it, not ripped into, but he was just like, listen, it's kind of like, it's me or them. If it's not working, then maybe I'm not the man. After that, I think they lost one game for the rest of the season, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I'm wrong there, but I remember the Man United Ronaldo hat-trick. So when you've got experienced players, that is probably the right way to approach it. Put a lot of the responsibility on them, because there is a lot of responsibility on them. But when you've got a young team, I guess Mikel's method makes a bit more sense, because we all know that we shouldn't be relying upon young player on young player. So not only to rely on young player, but to also throw them under the bus if things don't go right, like at the end of the season when we didn't make top 4. I don't believe that's right, because you can turn them off. They could be looking around and saying the same thing we're saying. Hold on, where's the experienced man that are really meant to be taking the responsibility on helping us ease through? So, I think that we can't take too much from Tuchel's interview, because that interview might, wake a lot of those players up. Because they are experienced, they have got experience. Yes, they have young players there too, but they've got experienced players as well. So same way Conte's Tottenham woke up after those comments from Conte, maybe Tuchel's kind of doing similar here.
Yeah, it'll be interesting, because they signed a few big names. I wonder if it will be similar to what happened with United. They signed a few big names and they have a season like United. That is what I'll be interested to see from Chelsea. But let's go into, I know Super Chat is coming, let's go into I was going to do the back line and discuss that for Palace, what we potentially could see, and how does that fill with excitement? Are you happy to see that? But let's do actually the 11 that could start against Palace. So because I just went through it in my head and thought, you know what, there's a good conversation in here. So obviously in goal, we're likely to see Ramsdale, and we saw Matt Turner a lot in Florida, but it's going to be Ramsdale, I believe. The back line that could start, now with the injuries and whatnot, you're expecting to probably see Ben White. Are you expecting him to go 3 at the back? I'm expecting to do 4 at the back. I think he's in Ben White will play right back. Yeah. Ben White, Saliba, Gabriel, and Zinchenko. Now, in this discussion, Turkish, I just want to just get your thoughts, and people in the comments, please get involved in this. Saliba, what you saw of him, does it feel different? Because some people I've seen online saying he could be our best centre back right now in the club, and that is this is crazy to say just in pre-season game. But I know you was happy with what you saw, and a lot of people were. When I was speaking to the fans in Florida, they were like, we've got a monster on our hands.
Yeah. I mean, he looked very good against Chelsea. And it is just a pre-season friendly, but he's a young player coming into a club where he probably feels hard done by over the years, and this is his chance to really prove himself. And he looks solid, he looks composed, calm under pressure cooker situation. Well, not pressure cooker because it's a friendly, but in terms of, there was times he was beaten, but he wasn't rash in getting back. He'd get back into a good position, get the block in. Against Chelsea, I don't think he lost out on a duel.
Yeah, that's exactly. I was trying to wrap my brains as well when I was at the match after the post-match. I was thinking, I don't remember seeing him get beat.
Yeah. And if you couple that with Young Player of the Year in France, it's not just we're basing this assessment off the last few games. There has been a lot of hype around Saliba for a few years now.
Yeah.
And hopefully, it seems like he's going to start the game against Palace from what Arteta's last couple of lineups have been. Hopefully, he brings that into there, because the Premier League is intense. There's a lot more on the line. So hopefully, that calm, composed manner, he's very physical, he's big, he's got a good frame.
Yeah.
I like that. So for me, he has the potential to be the best defender at the club.
Wow. And so there it is. But do we happy with that back line? Though? Would you be confident that going into Palace 5th of August? Any changes? Would you keep Ben White in that right back position instead of playing Cedric? We're obviously debating through injuries that we're aware of right now.
When Zinchenko's playing left back and what it seems that Arteta wants him to do in terms of floating into that 8 position, I think Ben White makes sense. But if Tomiyasu's fit, which I doubt it, even though Arteta did say to you he's coming back next week would be this week because that question was Saturday, innit?
Yeah.
I still think a week prep is probably not enough for Palace. So I'd expect Ben White to start there. But look at Sambi's header, for example. Cedric, back post cross, Sambi. You're not going to get that from Ben White. Now, I'm not saying you might not need that considering Zinchenko or Tierney's going to be attacking fullback. But if you need to change things up, then it's a good option to have.
Yeah.
But yeah, I expect Ben White to start there.
No, I like that. And listen, just guys, go back to press conference. I know we said about 2 weeks for Fabio Vieira. It's only because Arteta said another week and he'll be back with the squad. So I don't believe that means I'm adding another week on top of that. That's why I'm saying that, because he's not going to be back with the squad. He has to train for a bit before he goes into the side. Tomiyasu said he might be available he should be available for next week. Into the midfield quickly. I know there's a lot of super chats. Into the midfield, just give me your midfield. Will it be, you expect to see Xhaka, Partey and Odegaard?
Yeah, that's what it's going to be.
Okay, then let's push to the front three, because this is where it gets a bit higgy, shall we say, because Eddie Nketiah, Gabriel Jesus, there's Saka's, there's Martinelli's, there's Emile Smith-Rowe's. I don't know how to say, what are you expecting to see or what you wanting to see? What do you think Arteta's going to go with? Let's start with that. Probably
Martinelli on the left. Saka and Jesus pick themselves, really. It's just a question mark on that left side. And it's not really a question. I know Eddie's played there a couple of times, but I think Emile Smith-Rowe is the backup to that position at this moment, or the challenger to that position at this moment. So I expect to see one of them, but based off of pre-season so far, Martinelli should be the one.
So you're going to say Martinelli on the left, Jesus up top, and then Saka on the right is what that's what I think he'll go.
Yeah.
And is that what you'd want to see?
Yeah, well, yeah, from what we have, yeah.
Cool. Okay,
yeah, it makes sense.
I think because it's not harsh on Eddie. Eddie's probably going to get used in many of the games. I don't think that's harsh on Eddie. I think Gabriel Jesus has to start.
There's only a certain number of positions. We can't, and Eddie's a backup striker,
1,400 grand a week, new deal a backup striker.
Yeah.
It's harsh, but really, the reality, it does seem like that. It really does seem like that. Unless things change and he proves himself to be ahead of Gabriel Jesus, but I don't see it.
Cass said with Zinchenko playing left back, he probably prefers a Zinchenko Martinelli combination and a Tierney Emile Smith-Rowe combination. Reason being because Zinchenko will float in the middle for that number 8 role, whereas Martinelli not hugs the touchline, but he kind of plays off that more so than Emile, who really does cut in a lot. With Emile cutting in a lot, Tierney can really hug the touchline and overlap. So it looks like we've got a good couple combinations on the left-hand side. Hopefully they do, bear fruit and work well. But it's good to have a couple players to debate about starting. And for me, it's Martinelli or Emile.
Yeah, no, it is nice. All right, let's get into the super chats because before they disappear, what have we got going?
Yeah, sorry, I just lost one. Let me just find. Oh, here we are. Boubacar says, "What's your prediction on where Arsenal will finish with adding a quality midfielder? Hopefully, Smith-Rowe, Tommy and Tierney come back soon." So if you're saying quality midfielder, in my opinion, that's Milinkovic, Savic. Where will we finish?
This is dangerous to do.
It is dangerous because you don't know. But even at this moment in time, I think all Arsenal fans should be demanding minimum top 4, bare minimum. And when you hear what Edu said, when you hear what Mikel said about, it's not just about top 4. This is Arsenal. We should be challenging. Yes, you are right. We should be challenging, but we're not going to challenge this year. But that also means to me that top 4 is the bare minimum. Because if you're not in top 4, then you haven't challenged for much in the Premier League. And even finishing 3rd or 4th, you might not necessarily have challenged, as you can see over the last few years. So it's hard to say. It's really hard to say, because other teams have still got business to do as well. We might buy Milinkovic-Savic next week, and then Man United go and buy De Jong, and Chelsea go and wrap up another winger, or other teams, and then it's all up in the air. So it's hard to really predict. All I know is that as Arsenal fans, we should now be aligned in what we expect this season, and that is bare minimum Champions League football, and a trophy would be nice with that, because you're in the game to win trophies.
Turkish just did the politician answer, by the way, people. He didn't give it. He never gave up position. But he did what we should be divided, which he is right.
Look, last season I didn't think we were going to finish top 6. That was my prediction at the end of the transfer window last season. I said I don't see us finishing top 6 on Big 6. That's what I said. We finished 5th, a couple of points off 4th, and a couple of games. If they went differently, we would have been in top 4. I was surprised by that, but I wasn't happy with that. Even though I predicted we wouldn't finish top 6 and we finished 5th, it doesn't make me happy, because it's still not an achievement. So this season, look, we've had a good transfer window so far. There's still more work to do. Couple incomings, more than a couple outgoings, and then I could probably form a better prediction of the season. Right now, I can't say. Like I said, a few weeks ago, everyone was looking and laughing at Chelsea, and I know we just beat them 4-0, but then a Sterling signing and the Koulibaly signing, it's like,
changed it, changed the narrative.
Let's see what they're really about.
I was going to predict 6th or 7th before one of the pre-season games. I know it's only pre-season, and some of the signings, I was saying we're not going to, even this year, I was thinking, 7th maybe we'll do. I kept saying we'll have a really good cup run this season. I think that's what the focus will be, but now my mind's changed massively, but I can't pinpoint where exactly, but I promise you it's massively changed. I'm very much looking forward to this season. Just need to make some more signings.
Scott says, look back versus Chelsea in Baku. I don't want to look back to that, my guy. Only Xhaka was in the starting lineup. Team is in a healthier position and has value to it as well. Now a few more players. I know Arteta's first 11 has been doing rounds in comparison to the starting 11 against Chelsea, and the major differences and whatnot. And I know people are, let's not forget that first 11 or that first squad that Mikel had did win him an FA Cup. Let's not forget that and disrespect them completely, even though, listen, there was a lot of players in there that had to go. But a lot of Arteta's credit was built up from that squad, so it's changed massively. Hence why now is the season we say surely now comes minimum top 4, minimum Champions League football. Whether that's through top 4, Europa League win, I don't know. Just get it done. Big up, guys. Love the work in Orlando. Cecil, good work in the press conference. For me, we need another right winger, a midfielder, striker. Your thoughts, lad, says Red Smoke.
Right winger. Okay, so listen, I want 2 more signings. Realistically, I believe we'll only make 1. Hopefully in time before the start of the Premier League season. I doubt that will happen, but I want a midfielder, 100%, and I want another attacking player, whether that's on the wide or a striker. I know we argued about all through the holiday at Marcus Rashford. I'll still stick with that.
Don't bring his name to this table right now.
I still want him. But yeah, no, an attacker and a midfielder for me. But I think we'll get 1. And if I'm hoping. And speaking with Edu, I mean, we've been speaking with him throughout the week. Well, I have been throughout the week. I think hopefully it'll be
Don't say we before they think I'm speaking to him as well.
Turkish,
get on to him. I haven't spoken to Edu. I ain't spoken to none of these men.
I've been speaking to him. We're going to play a clip in a sec. But,
drives me crazy. Says, seems like Turkish and others at AFTV had an epiphany in the USA. Don't know what you mean by that, but it was a good trip. Do you worry for Emil's World Cup place? He was number 10 at the start of last season, and Odegaard took that place. Then he moved left wing, but Martinelli has taken that place. Well, I don't worry because I don't care about England's squad for the World Cup. It doesn't really have an effect. Listen, I've always been. But
I know you don't.
When more often than not in my life, when players go to tournaments with England, they come out in a negative manner, press-wise, headline-wise, fan-wise, they come out with a lot of pressure. From Beckham doing that to Simeone and the red card back then, to Rashford, Saka and Sancho missing penalties last year. There's always a negative aura coming at the back end. So, and that's them making the final last year, and there was
not
still
always, but they do
more often
but
than
when
not.
they are, they're big negatives, and they can affect
I'd
players.
rather our players be, left out easy. I know it might hurt them, but listen, it is what obviously Saka's gonna go.
Yeah,
we know that already. Ramsdale will probably go. I'm not sure if he'll be back up or whatever, but we have a few players that are gonna go. But the media in this country and the way if England don't win it, it's madness. It's a lot of pressure and yeah.
It could really affect us actually. This World Cup. It really, our chances, depending on what squad depth we get. But obviously we've been watching two halves of players throughout pre-season. There's a massive difference. There's always a clear difference. So to players going away, if it does affect them, the first 11 that we keep relying on, I do worry.
Let's see what KD's saying. Glad to see you guys back at the studio. Big up to the AFTV team. Until next time, big up you, my guy. Listen, KD tried to meet us outside the game after the Chelsea game, and it was madness. So we didn't get a chance to meet him, but he came and met us at the airport. He gave us like a few printed T-shirts. So love for the love, KD, man. Really appreciate that,
big
man.
Up KD,
it was a nice ending to the tour because it was all about the fans out there. I can't lie to you, and that was a nice little gesture from him as well.
No, it was.
Abdullah says, I think we should just buy a world-class centre mid. No need to rush on a right winger if nobody we want is available. We thought Rafinha was available. He wasn't. Pepe, Jesus, Marquinhos, and even Vieira can cover. We go again in January.
But us going for Rafinha makes me say they wanted a winger, so we must continue to want and demand a winger. I think if we've gone through it, they really want a Rafinha. Let's get one in, especially if we don't know what's going on with Pepe right now. I don't know if he's staying, if he's going. I did see the post that he put on Instagram saying, he's worked hard over the summer.
Must mean he's staying. It must mean that post must mean that he's staying.
I mean, it's hard. Yeah, it's hard to argue with that.
But how can he post that after that Orlando performance? I'm sorry, but I've been on Pepe's side for a long time. I've said he hasn't started.
And you're real,
He hasn't started 5-10 league games.
Bruv.
Yeah, because that was your chance, Pepe. You should have been ripping, man. You should have been cutting and you should have been exciting us.
It wasn't a great tour.
But that first half Orlando performance was so poor. But the fact that he came on against Chelsea, and not everyone came on against Chelsea.
Yeah.
It probably leads me to believe that he's going to play some part this season. And
even in Nuremberg, he wasn't great. Listen, like I said, he's worked hard. So we're going to need everyone playing at best. If he's going to stay, then he's going to stay. If they're looking to move him on, which after that post that he said he probably won't, we need to sign another winger for me.
Yeah, Nikhil says, your vlog day 5 video is the best content I've seen from you so far, Cecil, on the sidelines. Robbie swearing, the fans buzzing. I felt like I was there. Big up you for that, man.
Yeah, man. It was it was mad. I don't want to say. It's so hard to just talk about it. Sounded like just eggy, but it was. Like I said, it'll stay with me forever. It was good. I'm glad everyone got to watch and enjoy seeing it all.
Let's see. Jonathan says, we started the window all knowing Thomas Partey is the one position we need to get cover for. We still haven't done it. And it's one game until the season opener. I agree, Jonathan, but I wouldn't say it's the one position. I think Tierney as well. Like I said, left back and central midfield injuries have cost us in the last 2 years going for Champions League football. We've done the left back position now with Zinchenko. You are right, we need to add some quality in midfield. It doesn't look like we're getting depth for Partey, so it'll be interesting to see whether it's El Nene, whether we keep Torreira, but we do need to improve on Xhaka in that 8 position.
No, it's so odd that you're saying about Zinchenko was you thought that that was kind of priority, that left back position. He was saying the midfield. Mine was the striker. We had Eddie was out of contract. Lacazette had gone. We didn't have Gabriel Jesus at the start of the window. I was like priority. Even in January, that was my priority. So at the start of the window, my priority was a striker. I'm glad we've addressed it. Don't get me wrong. This is why I'm asked for another forward because I don't think it's enough. But that was my priority. But anyway.
Thoughts on Marquinhos? Not much thoughts around him so far. Can't say much. I don't.
It's hard. In Nuremberg, he barely got on the ball. Against Chelsea in Orlando, he came on. He was physical. I remember him getting absolutely grabbed, ripped up, and dragged after he rolled a player, one of the Chelsea defenders. But again, I can't say too much. In stature, he's very stocky. He looks very he's condensed and powerful, but he is quite short. But again, I don't think he's not someone that Arteta I think is going to prioritise to be a first 11 player. It's good for depth. But we haven't seen enough. I haven't seen enough to make a full judgment. If I'm completely honest.
100% drives me crazy again. Sorry, he said sorry. Epiphany meaning a moment of sudden and great revelation or realization. regarding the USA Arsenal support. 100%.
100%.
Like, I know the guys out there in the US and all over the world really do try to. It's hard waking up at certain times to watch certain games, and I know a lot of the English fans over here have felt that over this pre-season with our games over in America. But the love and the support and the passion for Arsenal is crazy out there, man. It's crazy. It just shows the size of the club, and it shows what Kroenke has on his hands, you know. And at the same time, you know, passionate, wanting the best for Arsenal, also holding them accountable will give us that. Yeah. Let's not lose ourselves in the moment. Let's make sure, you know, foot are still on necks, and you know, they get the job done, because at the end of the day, winning a transfer window is nothing to me. It's what you do with the season that's really what matters. Okay. But the transfer window gives you the hope and the belief that you can do something. Okay, I'll just quickly, because thank you for the super chats, guys. Thank you so much. We do want to get to Edu stuff. We're going to go to the super chats again, but Edu did say about, you know, don't just judge them on the money they've spent. So I'm glad you said that. If Edu's saying that, we can't just judge them on the money they've spent. Thank you. They're all saying what I've been saying, but I've been getting ripped for it for years. Edu comes out and says, listen, it's not just top four, we should be challenging. When I say that, it's like, stop being so negative, you're unrealistic, stop putting pressure on. It aligned with a lot of what you said, yeah. That's why I like them saying that, because you can hold people accountable now. And I'm not saying I want them to say it just to hold them accountable when it goes wrong. No, I want them to say it so, you know, we have something to hold on to. And if it works, it works. You give a round of applause, you give credit where it's due, and they start building a good legacy for themselves in these positions at Arsenal. But if it doesn't work, you can go back to it and say, well, look, this is where you said this, that, and that. And, you know, it still hasn't materialized. It's good that there's more words coming out from the people that matter at Arsenal. Agreed. Even though a lot of it does, you know, sway towards PR, it kind of falls hand in hand with a second positive window in a sense of expenditure. Last year, we was the highest spenders in the league. Cool. So far this summer, we're the highest spenders in the league. Cool. Surely the next thing you have to say is we are going for big things. And that's what they are saying now, basically. So that's what you want to hear. Yeah, that's what you want to hear. Owen says, I'm very cautious with praise I give to Arsenal. We did have a good pre-season, but as Arteta said, don't get carried away. We have much work to do and need more signings, and just maybe we might be onto something this season. I get the caution. It's just hot, yeah. It's the past decade that's built that caution amongst some of us fans, like myself and Owen. Let me see what we got. Another one here from VD. Says started watching AFTV from the day of Chris Hudson's interview, legendary, and been a dream to watch your growth. Bless up from Philly. Come on, my guy. Love VD. Big up everyone in Philly. Met a couple of people from Philly out there as well. Okay. Big up VD. That was a really nice super chat. Thank you very much. We need to get into the main headlines, the Edu stuff, and I'm sure that we need to get into this. We've got a few of his quotes. We're going to discuss them kind of to end the show. Before we do that, I'm going to play a clip that it hasn't really been seen before. I did film it on my phone. Do forgive me, but I spoke with Edu after the Chelsea game, and I wanted him to say something for the fans, and it ended up being what he thought about the tour so far. So I'm going to play it for you now. Just have a listen. I'm with Edu. He's going to give a little message to the fans.
Message for the fans.
Yeah, after a 4-0 win, good win. Happy with what you've seen today?
I'm happy with the tour. Yes. I think this is the most important. You know, the tour was good, the training was good, the guys is happy, looks fit, looks sharp. So that's the most important thing.
Amazing. Edu, we'll see you soon.
You take care.
Yeah, there you go. I'm not going to call it an exclusive because there wasn't much that we didn't know already. Edu was obviously happy with the pre-season tour and how well it went and how sharp the boys are looking, and they're excited for the season to start. We had a nice catch up. He came over to me before jumping on the bus, which was really nice, and I had a good talk. But listen, again, I did say still want a midfielder, still want signings, but there will be more from Edu as well. And the channel, so you guys do look out for that in the near future. Before you get into that, Mike just said, gutted I didn't run into you two on Saturday. You got to come back. Do you think Tierney's starting spot is in jeopardy now? Well, we kind of discussed that. I believe so. Yeah. I believe that from when Zinchenko first signed, and I think it's good. But we need competition for each position. That's how. That's the top clubs have that. That's what we need. Don't see it as a negative. And we will be back as well. We will be back, people. Oh yeah, I'll be back for sure. I don't know about everyone else, but I'm coming out. Just love this time. I've never seen Turkish smile so much. As soon as he left the door, smile.
Do you see Mary the comments underneath both my interviews? Leave him there. He seems happier.
He was so happy.
Listen, it was mad.
He woke up, everyone was grumpy. Turkish there with a smile, you know. You wouldn't believe it. But
It's
he was
listen,
very
there's no pressure on pre-season, and then being out there as well and seeing all the love. It's like you could watch the games, you know, calmly.
Yeah, there was no. I'll hold it close. Let's just quickly run into some of the comments now. Some of the quotes from the Edu press conference. Now, I've picked out a few, but I will rattle through some. We're going to have to discuss them all. People in the comments, let us know where you want us to stop and kind of discuss. Get that in the comments and we'll speak over it. Quickly, how pleased were you with, this is what you got asked, how pleased are you with your latest signing, Alexander Zinchenko? This is, I picked out this quote. Zinchenko transfer was planned like 6 months ago to feed that position in the best way possible, in the way which Mikel really wants to play. 6 months they had that planned. And then in the position as well, which I'm assuming it's going to be left back. Interesting, very interesting. So that was from around January. You know what I mean? They were looking at Alexander Zinchenko.
So what does that mean about the Martinez stuff? Is he basically saying that wasn't true? Is he saying, or I don't know, because if you couple that one up with the Rafinha quote, I don't know if you want to do that one next, because they kind of, what I take from that is, listen, if Zinchenko was in talks like for 6 months, then maybe all of this Martinez stuff, maybe we was interested, but maybe the journals or the Twitter in the nose or whatever they are play the game with us. If you couple that up with the Rafinha one where he pretty much says, I spoke to Deco's a friend, but Deco let me know straight away that he wants to go Barcelona. It doesn't seem like there was much more to it. Whereas the journalists or in the nose or again, whoever they are on Twitter seem to, you know, one bid, improved bid, next bid coming. So, maybe it's more evidence not to trust these people that are just spewing all this nonsense.
Yeah, it does feel like we really, really don't know what goes on when it comes to discussions with players and transfers, because again, we're going to go straight into this one. The how close were you to signing Rafinha? Edu says, I just said to Deco, can you explain to me the situation with Rafinha? That's all he asked. And he was clear. Edu, we have a good relationship, but I'm not going to lie to you. His idea is to go to Barcelona because he's dreaming to go to Barcelona, and we've been talking to Barcelona since a long time ago. Edu said, okay, thank you very much. If something happens, then just let me know because I can explore and understand the situation. If not, no problem. We carry on with our relationship. Now, that just seems like that was one brief conversation and that was done, but it was going around in the nose, the media, the links were going around for weeks and weeks, and we're close, and we're putting an improved bid in for him.
Yeah.
So, but from that just seemed like, I rang his agent, this is what he told me. We left it, ring me if anything else changes. So it does feel like, we really don't always know what's going on. And obviously he seemed interested, and that means that's why I mentioned before, like they did look for a right winger, so I expect one to come in, but that just seemed like a brief conversation, got shut down pretty quickly. Yeah,
maybe that's why he did it. Maybe it's more to say we're doing our stuff behind the scenes. Don't pay too much attention to these people that think they know. They don't know much. Maybe that's what he's saying there.
Okay, fair enough. We'll go into. Okay, let me go into the next question, which is, can we expect any more signings? Now, this is a big question. I did kind of asked Arteta this as well in the press conference, and do you know what they spoke about so much in the interview of Edu, that they're aligned. That was the headline of it all over the media, all over the internet. We're aligned in our thinking, and a lot of these answers, I'm going to be honest, are very much in line with both people, Arteta and Edu. He said, I think we have to be prepared for every situation. We still feel the transfer window is open. That's kind of what Arteta said as well. The transfer window is still open, and so is the squad. And the most important thing is to be prepared for everything, every scenario, because opportunities can happen. Yes, it's very PR, it's very safe. It's not letting anything in, but I take a lot of positives out of it. They are very aware the window's open, which we all are, but I still feel like I don't know what it is, the energy I got from Arteta, the energy from watching Edu in the interview, I feel like there is going to be a signing, whether it will be after the season starts or before.
I'll throw that quote in the bin, in my opinion. That one I've heard too many times from Mikel, Wenger, from a lot of people over the years, Gazidis. The perfect scenario might occur, and we're still in the market, and all of that, and then nothing happens. So with that one, like you said, it was a safe answer. So I don't take too much from it, I'll be honest, because what I really want to be hearing, and this is me just being maybe over the top, is yes, we're still in the market for improvements in the team, rather than scenarios can happen, and if you divide this and take away that, and you might be left with this, and then if you divide that again, and it's all maths to me. Just say we need improvements still, we're still in the market, cool.
But it's tricky. We're trying to get things done because transfer market is difficult. It's not as simple as just saying But what you said there, I suppose, is improve. We want to see improve. We are trying to improve.
Outgoings need to happen. Like that's the honest truth. What we've got, 33, 34
the squad,
in the squad, senior
now
players.
Signing, with
Zinchenko. So
34,
we need to get rid of not even just a couple. We need to get rid of a hell of a lot of men before we even can bring in one person.
It's very true. I think maybe behind the scenes trying to do that. Have you brought in players you wanted to, despite not qualifying for Champions League? Now, the answer Edu gave was yes, almost 100% of them. Now, the reason, and I'm going to carry on with this quote, but Basuma, the main reason we got fed was because of they're not in Champions League spot. So he said, yes, 100% of them. I understand sometimes players want to play Champions League football, but I think we can offer something very special for the players as well. It's not only Champions League, but you can be part of a group of players which can achieve something very special for this football club. And then I always ask them if they want to be part of the project we've been building as we're doing. That project got thrown around so much in all these interviews with Edu. But the reason why I brought up the Champions League question is because, like I said, Basuma seemed like we lost out on him because of Champions League spot. Does Champions League really affect these signings? I feel like I actually feel like they have a clear project or process, whatever P word you want to use. But they are selling it, and I feel like people are buying into it.
Yes, it's like a thing now, isn't it? It's become a thing. From when Lacazette is coming towards the end of the season saying, I want Champions League football, fuck me, I think everyone can say it. Because you need to deserve it as well. I think when it comes to Champions League football, you're looking at like Gnabry. If we had Champions League football, maybe we went in for Gnabry this summer. I get that. Because Gnabry is Champions League quality. He deserves to be in that competition. He deserves to be at a club fighting for the biggest honours. Yeah. But when it's like Lacazette, even a Tillemans, I know Tillemans is a good player, but it's like, come on, my bro, take it easy. Because I remember earlier in the summer, it was like, Champions League
football. Yeah, he was there.
It's of course it's a big thing, and players want to play in the Champions League. But at the same time, what have you done to really warrant that? Yeah. So it's just become a thing now. I want Champions League football. Like any Tom, Dick, or Harry can say it, but really and truly, it matters to the Gnabrys of the world or the world-class players that you're trying to bring in.
Yeah.
Hence why you might look at our squad and say we don't have a world-class player. Maybe because we haven't got into Champions League yet.
That's a good point. I'm just trying to work out, players that came that I think not can demand Champions League football, but of high quality and you understand them saying, like Thomas Partey, we got him without Champions League football. I think that was good from Arsenal. Gabriel Jesus. I mean, at first, like you said, I didn't expect it to be this. I know he has seasons stuff, but this sharp, and I feel like he's gonna do a lot for Arsenal. But I understand him saying he wants Champions League football, but he's brought into the process, and he's a top player.
Yeah, quality player. Been there. He's a quality player.
Yeah.
It helps that he knows Mikel.
Yeah, I think that.
Of course.
I think that with Zinchenko as well, I think that was a big pull for these players. But I know Edu as well actually was part of it, because I think some of the players, I think Zinchenko definitely mentioned Edu was a big part of the reason why he signed. Quickly, the last two before we go into comments and super chats, and please get in your comments so we can discuss your thoughts on the Edu quotes. Quickly, you were with the owners on Wednesday. I know you're gonna like this one. How supportive have they been with the spending? Now, Edu's response was not only with the spending, because it's unfair to link the owners just with the spending. And I'm going to be honest, and I think I've seen a lot online as well, the argument will be, listen, they spent loads, like we mentioned before, in the last window they spent the most, this window they spent the most. Yeah. That is going to be a big thing to get people on side. But I was very happy to hear Edu say, let's not just focus on the spending. They are very much important, he says, and it is sometimes unfair if people have some doubts about our owners.
That's where Edu needs to be careful, man. Because if I do get a chance to speak to him, I will ask him about that.
You will.
It's not unfair for us to have doubts about these owners. It's far from it. It's very fair to have doubts about these owners. And spending big in a couple of windows doesn't change that, because it wasn't only spending big that was the problem. It was caring.
But can you see they're trying to check? Can you see?
I can't see anything yet.
No?
What? Because they attended the game in America?
Yeah.
Or because they
and more
met
communication, and more money spent. But is that not enough for you?
It's on the right path.
Okay.
But again, I'm not here to win a transfer window.
No, I hear that.
I'm not here to hear just words. Actions speak louder than words. I want to hear the right words.
Yeah.
Because that's where you get accountability from. But the season is where it matters. May is where it matters.
Okay.
What you're in, what you're going for, what you're achieving. You know, that's really what matters. So for him to say unfair on he's wrong there.
Okay.
He's wrong there. He said a lot of good things in this interview and the few he's done over the last 24 hours, but him saying it's unfair sometimes, no. It's very fair to doubt these owners, and they still haven't, for me, done enough to change my mind. Like I said, seasons and challenging and being back up there will help in that.
But are they not doing that? I know we're not challenging, but if we get more success this season, say we win a European title, that's not them though, that's the squad that they've invested in and built. What would you want to see to make you change your mind? I know you're never going to be cronky in, but what is going to make you feel like, okay, I can kind of see what they're trying to do and buy into it? I just want to just press down on you a little bit on this. If we start winning, that's not. I don't think that's down to them. That's down to the backing maybe, but that's not down to the Cronkies.
See, but they would have. If we start winning again and challenging, then you give them credit for putting in the right pieces in the right places.
Okay.
You know, that's also part of it. It's not just how much money you spend; it's the right people in the right places. And
are they right now?
We don't know. It look like obviously with Mikel, he came in and he's still inexperienced. Edu inexperienced. But if you're gonna back someone, I guess it's, you know, that's the right thing to do. If you believe that person or these people are the ones for your business and your job, and you really want to win, then it's the right thing to do. But if you're doing it because they're ex-players and they can take their attention away from the previous mess under Wenger and give you a new lease of life, and bless you, give you a new lease of life, and you know, use their faces to kind of change opinions, then no, it's about caring, Cecil.
Okay.
It's about, you know, 2-3 months into the season, if it's not going too well, what do you do? In January, if you're a couple points away from top 4 or a couple points in top 4, what do you do? Because January for me wasn't so long ago. It's all good and well talking about this pre-season and a few signings, but in January this season, or this year, sorry, in my opinion, we had an opportunity to really nail down top 4 or give us the best possible case for it. Yeah. We did nothing. In fact, we came out of January weaker than we went into January. So, you know, all of this recent stuff, I get it. You know, let's not cloud ourselves, because it wasn't so long ago that they had an opportunity to really get over the line again, and they failed to take it up. Right. So that's the sort of things I need to be seeing.
So they're trying, but yeah, when it comes to like situations
on your
like
toes,
that, you have to be
proactive. On your toes.
Okay,
and that's about caring. If you don't care too much, you're not going to really, you know, be on your toes.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to get that from them. I think they're putting so much faith and trust into Edu and Mikel Arteta. You see it in all these interviews and everything I've seen so far. It's heavily down to them, and they're doing what they're doing, and it's interesting. But it'll be interesting to see if your mind changes or if we push on from this point forward, because things are looking good, but that's just for now. And the season hasn't started yet, but it's just for now.
No, things are feeling good.
Feeling good.
Not looking.
Yeah, no, that was fair.
Palace, it will be looking.
If we win.
It'll be looking bad or good. That's when it matters. Palace, the next few games after that, Leicester and so on. Those first 5 games, in my opinion, like I said, that's a good start to the season. That's a good 5 teams to have, you know. So let's just
we need to that first game against Palace, I think is the most important out of the 5. We do something big there, the whole Premier League will be awake and be tuned in to what Arsenal can potentially do this season. Let me read the last quote. So what's your target this season? Again, asked Mikel this in the interview. Edu's response was, with all my respect, even being realistic, I cannot think less than winning things. And that was Arteta's answer. He went around the houses when there was a press conference. He did mention about winning things. So you did start at the top of the show and say, well, that must mean we can demand top 4 or higher. And after finishing 5th last season, I have to agree with you. You have to improve on that. So you have to be kind of 5th or higher, or win a trophy.
Yeah.
So if they want to win things, I understand that. But that means we can demand, I'm assuming, 5th or higher. That's why I had to ask the question.
Their answers are a lot more confident this summer than last summer in terms of, even though it's still, you know, not directly answering it in terms of is top 4 the minimum. It's about winning things. It's not directly answering it, but there seems a lot more confidence coming from Mikel and Edu when they speak about these targets and these things about challenging than there was last season. But this is all accountability at the end of the day. It's all words at the end of the day. And yes, I'm a man that's wanted words, so I'm happy to be hearing these things, but it's about producing. and making these things a reality. That's what it's about. It's not about just hearing these things and then me getting behind them and like Mikel's at the wheel and all of this stuff. It's about listening to it, believing they have the best intentions, but seeing it in action.
Cool.
Seeing it develop and seeing it bear fruit now.
And
that's what it's about.
And this should be the season.
100%.
Being the
There's no
third
doubt.
full season. Yeah, this should be the season. He had many windows as well now, Mikel. So this is where, you know, eyes are going to be fully on him, and the pressure may be needed or may not be needed. We're going to see from us, that is. Right, that is it for the comments and the quotes from Edu's press conference. Now, I want you guys to get in the comments, and now we're going to do the super chats to round up the end of the show. I know you've got them all here, so off you go, Toast. Let me see what's everyone saying.
Where are we? I did that gutted. I didn't run into you two there. Met Lee and troops at the game, says Albi. Proper good time. Glad you enjoyed, man. We all did. Eugene says, would Paqueta or Tielemans be a better fit for us? I like Paqueta. So I wouldn't mind Tielemans, don't get me wrong, but I like Paqueta.
Did you, when we was in the kitchen in America and I said, is Tielemans really what we're making out to be? Were you everyone kind of shut it down, but I said I wouldn't mind Paqueta or a midfielder like that. And
if you ask me about the names we're linked with, Milinkovic, Savic, I want.
Okay, yeah.
If it's not him, then Paqueta, Tielemans.
Okay,
it's not like I'd be upset with Tielemans. It's just that I prefer Milinkovic, Savic, or I'd prefer a Paqueta. But Tielemans is still a good player to me. Some doubts over him, but at the same time, it's a definite improvement in that position. I got a lot of people telling me it's not an improvement on Xhaka. That's madness to me. Ebole says, I think we'll finish third. Love from Nigeria. Love my guy. Ashwin says, Namaste from India. I'm so jealous. Why can't Arsenal travel to India for an Indian tour?
It's coming.
We Indian Gooners are desperate to meet you people. Give us a chance for hospitality.
It's coming, guys.
Ashwin, you hear that?
Guys, it's coming. I'm telling you. I'm in the back end. It's coming very soon.
Another one here says, we need 2 more signings, Tielemans or Milinkovic Savic, and then Asensio or Sané, and I'd be happy. I think Sané's really a dream.
Never gonna happen, but I would love that as well.
But yeah, of course, Sané's a top player. Eduardo says, who did you want in January? Isak. Well, Vlahovic was the one apparently we wanted, but listen, it doesn't matter about who the fans want. There's an opportunity there to, you know, improve on the club, really nail down on top 4. They are in the position, they're getting paid the money to be doing these things. So we can want Tom, Dick and Harry. They go and buy James, and not James, but they go and buy James. And if it works, it works. Do you know what I mean? But it's about trying. It's about doing.
And ultimately, January cost us that top 4 position. I don't care what anyone says. That's how it is. You saw what Tottenham did, and look where they ended up. So yeah, for me, January is where it all went wrong. Right, that is the end of this live.
6K in the building as well. People, you know what you're gonna have to do right now. You're gonna have to hit the like button, people. I wanted to get up to 1,000 likes right now. Let me check how many likes we're on.
Yeah, hit the like
for
us, please, guys. Listen, hit the like for this video. Go and watch the vlog. Go and watch the vlog straight after this. There's 6,000 over you here. Please go watch that. It's really good stuff. It's really good stuff. Go watch the vlog, leave a comment. And
to be honest, we're near 1,000 anyway. We're gonna hit 1,000. My people, hit 2,000. Yeah. Hit 2,000. We're back in London.
Anything else you want to say off the trip? Because I know you did a lot at the beginning, but just to kind of wrap up the show. Again, it's your words, love for the love, but it really was surreal.
That wraps up everything. Love for the love just wraps up that whole American trip.
Yeah.
That whole American trip. Trust me, every single person I met out there, spoke to, took a picture with, all of that, love for the love, people, man, because it was special. It was definitely special.
And I do want to mention just, listen, I've got to put in a lot of work to get access and whatnot, and what you saw and what you've seen in the vlogs, but that's not to say that that anything's changing. You see the fan cams are still there. You see main things, we're a fan channel, and that's what we deliver. Since I've been here, I've been wanting to bridge the gap and give access to the fans everywhere we can, so you can see everything and get as much information as possible. So, but just please keep that in mind, that this is a fan channel. You will continue to see that and continue to get that from the fans, the fan cams and their opinions. I have to make that very clear as well.
One more from Red Smoke says, a lot of dead wood left at this club, i.e. Hector, Maitland-Niles, Runnison. Nothing against these lads, but let's be honest, they need to go. I don't disagree.
I'm going to end on a positive by saying we'll be back again tomorrow on the AFTV Live. It will likely be James and Robbie after their nice lie-in since landing back in the UK. But yes, thank you again, everyone, for watching this live, and we'll be back very soon. Take care, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Love.